We're gonna talk about a podcast that I love. I love to watch, near and dear to my heart. The Joe Budden podcast. If you don't watch the Joe Budden podcast, it's been going on for about I think like 7 to 8 years, something like that, or like 10 years, something like that. But in the last 5 or 6 years, it's gained its most. It's gained a lot of its audience that it has now because of the addition of two of his friends, Rory and Mal, two people he met through the industry. Rory was a manager of Duce Palooza, and Mal was a friend of Joe's, and he has his brother and stuff has connection with Rockefeller and things of that nature. And he's put Joe in positions with different people in the music industry, different producers and stuff like that. So those are two of his closest friends. And he kicked them off of the show I think on the 12th, amidst all the behind the scenes things that was going on that we didn't know about. So basically what was happening was Rory and Mal felt like they weren't getting paid the amount they should have been getting paid, and they wanted to understand that, and they didn't understand like what was their status in the company. They felt like they were owners, but Joe was the owner, and they were profit partners, and they were profit partners, so that led to a lot of confusion. And Joe ended up taking the heat for it after he violated Rory, fired him on air, said, Mal, you can come back when you get your act together, type stuff. But Mal is riding with Rory. Mal's not going on the show like that, because Joe has said some crazy stuff to him. He asked him about, okay, what's this, what's that, what's going on with the Spotify deal, and then Joe told him it's none of his business. So of course that's something crazy to say if you're a profit partner. Like, if I'm a profit partner, I want to know how much money is coming in, so I know how much of it I'm supposed to be getting, because I get a percentage off of everything that's coming in. But Joe, but it was a lot of miscommunication. It was a lot of mismanagement on Joe's end, a lot of miscommunication between accountants and lawyers and the three men in general. They got into a lot of arguments, and it was just a mess. So what ended up happening was the episode that Joe fired Rory on and basically shunned them all off of was taken down, but the internet is the internet. They put it back up, and people were flaming Joe on Twitter, and then Joe came out and apologized to them, like, I failed you. And then Olivia Dope, she's on another podcast on the Joe Budden Network, which is on YouTube. She accused him of sexual harassment, and she gave receipts. She gave timestamps from the podcast where she felt uncomfortable. He also apologized for that. And now Rory and Mal have their own podcast coming up. They have a YouTube channel called Rory and Mal. You can go check that out. They put out a little promo skit for that. And I think that it's going to be dope. I think it's going to be a nice competition, a nice buffer to the Joe Budden podcast, and we're going to have some healthy competition. Hopefully one day they can reconcile the differences and be guests on each other's shows and things of that nature. But I think moving forward, Rory and Mal are going to get the shine that they truly deserve, because you could tell there was a lot of tension in the show. Rory inviting Joe to his hands, and Mal just being kind of dismissive and barely saying anything throughout the episodes. They was going through that for that long period of time, for them couple years or whatever, and we didn't know. We were just saying, this is getting boring. These guys is arguing. Mal's not saying nothing. But now you know why that was happening, and Joe took responsibility for it. He apologized to everybody, and all you think you could do from that is just move on. Everybody just go their separate ways. He said he's happy for them. They got their new podcast. He said the skit was funny and everything, and that's all you could do is just move on. Like, had it been me, I'd have let everything been known from the rip. I'd be like, listen, this is my network. I mean, this is my company. This is my podcast. Even when we not making no money, because things change. What happened was everybody was there doing it for the love, but then when money came, things changed, as it should, because there's money coming in, and you all are responsible for generating that money, so everybody wants their even cut of the pie. But I would have been like, listen, this is my business, this is my network, y'all work for me. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all my co-hosts, but y'all work for me. If y'all don't want to do that, fine, I'll get somebody that will. You know, because him making them profit partners makes things messy. He did it out of great reverence and respect for his friends and friendship. But anytime you're dealing with money, don't matter who it is, it doesn't matter who it is, you gotta get that shit nipped in the butt right away. It has to be settled before money even come in. Like, we have to speak on it, like, listen, this is what's gonna happen with the money that comes in. This is my company. I'm paying you guys out of my pocket. This is the salary that you guys are receiving. If you don't like it, you can go elsewhere. Because you've seen what happened when you try to do everything based on friendship. Friendship and business don't really mix like that. You got to put your foot down. You got to let people know their place when it comes to business. But Joe didn't do that, and he let things bubble up. And he was of the mindset that, or at least that's what it seems like, he was of the mindset that, like, oh, they know what the deal is. They just fucking around. They know that I own this, and they have no business looking at the paperwork, you know. But even though he did say some crazy stuff to them, they was asking for an accountant. He was like, "Oh, just go get a calculator." Like, nah, you would have said that to me, that'd have been probably, we'd have had some problems. Like, first of all, don't disrespect me. Like, a lot of the reason this podcast is successful is because of me. Especially, like, you ain't established from the beginning that, all right, I'll work for you, in which I don't work for you because I'm a profit partner. Like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. That's what's not gonna happen. So I don't know. I think the whole situation was just, mishandled, mismanaged. But I'm glad everybody's on let the bygones be bygones, water under the bridge type kind of vibe, and nothing escalated to somewhere it didn't need to go. Because I don't want to see no black people beefing. Like, we had enough of that. We had enough of that.